Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part for you of What If Asta Was a Monster Rider? This is part 1, and the last part was part 0, where I went over that of how Asta found his 3 new Monsties, one being a Zinogre, a Astroloth, and last but not least, the face of the Monster Hunter series, a Rathalos, which he names the Zinogre Volt, the Astralos Score, and the Rathalos Wratha. As both the sister Lily and the father were hesitant on letting Asta keep them, but decided to let him, hoping that it could teach him how to be a little bit more responsible after all. With that, Asta had that of 3 new friends that would actually aid him in his goals. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Years have now gone by since Asta basically had that of Volt, Score, and Wratha, as taking care of them was pretty difficult at first, but however, they were able to figure things out for them well, especially their feeding habits. Found out that the 3 of them actually do like meat a lot. Not only that, they're even capable of eating that of vegetables too, but they mainly love meat though. As for their personalities though, which strangely you wouldn't expect that Monsties wouldn't have much of a personality, but these 3 do. For example, Wratha barely listens to Asta. I mean, he cares about Asta, as from time to time when Asta does his, extremely, basically, overwhelmingly training sessions, basically do over 1,000 push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, and basically go on multiple runs. It's always Wratha that always carries Asta back to the church after exhausting himself to the point of to freaking exhaustion. But other than that, he basically shows barely any respect to him. Sometimes even just breathing fire in his face just for the fun of it. Volt is basically energetic as hell. He's like a dog basically happy to see their owner, to be honest. Because of that, he follows Asta almost on a daily, except certain things though. But even so, he's basically energetic as hell. Way too active for his own good. As for Score, he's basically a lazy bastard, to be honest. So lazy that he basically sleeps whenever he wants and does whatever he wants. Only wakes up from time to time if Asta basically needs him from something, which is rare, to be honest. But even so, it almost seems like he doesn't care about anything except for what Asta wants. Except one thing. Score does care about Yuno a lot as well. Out of all of Asta's Monsties, Score seems to be drawn to Yuno. If Score didn't imprint onto Asta though, he most likely would have cared more about being around Yuno more, and possibly wouldn't have be as much, lazy and sleepy. But even so, it's mainly because of this that Asta's life and at the orphanage has been quite lively thanks to these 3, especially given as the years go by, as these monsters begin to grow bigger. 8 years later, currently, Asta is basically kneeling down to Sister Lily with that of a flower in his hand, saying, "Sister Lily, will you please marry me?" With then Sister Lily seeing this, saying, Asta, you do know that this is the 1,000th time that you asked me to marry you, saying, and I will still not give up, so please marry me. With then soon Sister Lily saying, Asta, I told you I will not. With she bringing out her grimoire and begins to use her water creation magic, holy water fist, and slams it down onto Asta's head, creating that of a small crater into the ground. With then hearing a bit of the shaking, a certain black and sickly green dragon-like monster known as an Astralos basically sleeps on that behind that of the church orphanage, as this is a somewhat midly fully grown score, as he's basically nothing but sleeping right now, as he opens up his red eye and see the noise before then basically puffing a bit of a sickly green electricity out of his mouth before closing his eyes once again, trying to get some sleep. With then soon Asta basically stands back up saying, "But Sister Lily, I thought this was my chance." With then soon a few of the kids basically walking up to Asta saying, "Asta, this is the 10th time that you basically tried to confess to Sister Lily again. I think it's time to give it up." With a few kids also saying, "Yeah, it's really starting to be annoying too." With then Asta saying, "Not you guys too." With then soon a tall, black-haired and amber-eye youth that seems familiar as before, being an older and taller Yuno, saying, "Asta, you really are hopeless, you know that?" Saying, "Hey, shut it, Yuno." Then you saying, "I'll shut it when you grow at least a couple more inches." With then us saying, "You really want to go? Bring it!" With then Asta basically running towards Yuno before Yuno basically blasts him with just a burst of his wind magic, saying, "Not right now. I still have chores to take care of, which I thought you would have." As saying this, Asta soon slumped on the ground before basically jumps back up into the air without looking like he didn't even get hurt one bit, saying, "I've already done that. I basically made sure that Wratha, and Volt are already, taken out properly. And I've even fed them too." However, and Volt is currently doing his task as well. With then soon one of the kids saying, "Yeah, Volt is basically already taking care of the crops right now." With then soon they begin hearing that of a beastly dragonic growl. As the kids hearing this, they couldn't help but run to see where the growl came from. With even Yuno couldn't help but smile as they soon see a bigger and fully grown Volt basically tending to the fields for not just the orphanage but also for the rest of Hodge village as well. As given his big size and an energetic personality, he's able to plow through fields pretty easily because he's better than any cows or any other farm animal, which gives the villagers time to have their farm animals for some time to relax after all. Originally, the people of Hodge village were a little bit nervous around Asta's monsters. Many of them didn't trust them, while some basically wanted Asta to get rid of them entirely. However, as the years go by and see that none of the monsters have caused any trouble, especially given that they're always close to Asta, even with a few of their quirks after all, the villagers began to warm up to them, especially since Asta started to put them to work as well to help around the village, mainly Volt and Wratha from time to time. As for Score, he's way too lazy to do anything unless Asta has to constantly bug him over and over again to at least do something until Score does it so he can go back to sleeping. However, if Yuno asked him though, Score basically gets up already automatically and just does it before going back to sleep again. Currently right now, as the kids continue seeing that of Volt continue plowing the fields, all of them couldn't help but giggle and laugh seeing the massive, Zenogre. As for Yuno, he finished up the chores and gave the laundry back to Sister Lily, with Sister Lily basically, thanking Yuno for his task. With then soon, Asta saying, "But just you wait. Just give me a couple more days and I know I can awaken my magic, especially with the help of the others, with the help of the others after all, with then soon, saying, sure, sure, keep telling yourself that, Asta. Also, where's Wratha? With then soon, Asta saying, huh, Wratha? Oh yeah, most likely just doing his own thing. With then soon hearing that of a large draconic growl deep into the forest, with then everybody hearing this, with then saying, huh, looks like he's already coming back. As Asta says, it's carefree, with then soon Cicely saying, even after all these years, I'm still not used to him growling like that, especially how big he's gotten after all. With then soon, saying, I agree. Plus, with then, remembering that of Wratha, when the red Rathalos basically came out of his egg, out of that of Score, who already seemed like he had able to fly, like he was even already capable of flying, even for somebody of his small stature and size. Wratha, on the other hand, seems like he couldn't even open up his wings, not even one bit. He was like a chicken that basically lost the ability to even fly. Or possibly, he has that of a birth defect, unable to even fly, even though it seems like he should be. The reason why Yuno thinks this, as Yuno continues thinking this through, he soon sees that of a red-like draconic beast coming through that of the woods, with that of multiple dead animals on his back, and one in his mouth as well, as it being that of a boar, bear, wolves, and foxes on his back, with that of 2 wolves in his mouth, carrying them by their tails, as this being Wratha. With then the kids gonna say, hey, Wratha's already came back, yay! With all the kids basically running towards Wratha, with even Asta too, screaming out, hey, Wratha, what did you get today? With then Cicely couldn't help but smile seeing Wratha, with even Yuno as well, but within him narrowing his eyes towards Wratha's wings, as they're basically pitch black, just like they were when he was born. Over time, everybody believed that, well, Wratha wings would grow out as he gotten bigger and bigger throughout the years, but it's been literal 8 years, and yet Wratha still hasn't been able to, wings still haven't emerged anytime soon, which kind of worries Yuno. But for Asta, he basically says that that Wratha will fly, and that he trusts him, that he can fly. You just got to be just got to be patient, to be honest. Hearing Asta's optimistic words, Yuno couldn't help but think that Asta's just saying this just to keep himself, hopeful and all that. But knowing that this is Asta, he really does believe it. He really does believe Wratha can fly in the future. As Wratha arrives with all of the animals that he brought back, basically giving them basically food that Wratha, Score, and Volt will be eating, with that of extra food for that of the orphanage as well. With Asta basically congratulating Wratha for the haul that he brought in, basically scratching him around his head, giving him head pats and everything, with even that of face hugging him too. With this, Wratha seems annoyed, but deep down, he genuinely does love the attention that Asta always gives him. But not showing on his face, he basically just lets down all of the animals that he caught on both his back and also in his mouth as well, causing both Yuno and Asta having to pick up the animals, such as Asta being able to pick up the heavier ones, being that of the bears and boars, and Yuno having to pick up that of the wolves and foxes, as they soon carry them out to that of the kitchen so they can be at least de-skinned and prepared and to be processed as well. With then soon Cicely saying, even though Asta hasn't changed, he has become a little bit more responsible for the past couple of days. I remember when he basically just felt like he could do whatever he wants, even while doing chores as well. Now he seems like he's at least a little bit more mature than before. Can't help but to thank these three strange creatures for mellowing him out at least a little bit. With then soon, after thinking this to herself, she soon realized, oh right. With then she heading to talk to the father about, given that tomorrow is the day that everybody in town will be heading to that of the Hodge Village's Grimoire Tower for the Grimoire ceremony, to gain their new grimoires. With then heading back into the church, Wratha was about to go off on his own before then soon many of the kids from the orphanage began to pile up on that of the red dragon, with Wratha getting annoyed but realized that he's not going to be able to get out of this unless he basically gives these kids at least that of a few laps around that of the village. Before the kids could actually, say anything, Wratha soon roars before going in at full speed, running across that of Hodge Village. With many of the villagers seeing this, with many of them couldn't help but laugh. As for Volt, who basically finished up his task of plowing the fields and was about to head back to the orphanage to see Asta, soon saw what has happened. Before then tilting his head, Volt couldn't help but be confused, but didn't really bother when looking at Wratha, before heading back to the village at that of full speed, as he moves so fast that he creates that of a full-on shockwave, not strong enough to hurt anybody, but just enough to basically blow at least a few people back, as he moves as fast as the living lightning bolt that he is. With then, the very next day, Asta, Yuno, alongside the kids, Sister Lily and the father heading to that of the tower for the grimoire ceremony. However, both Volt and Score decided to, sit this out. Currently, Score is doing what he always does, sleeps behind that of the church, basically with what not of a care in the world, and Volt, having way too much energy for his own good, basically roams around that of Hodge Village. As for Wratha, on the other hand, he's currently, walking with that of Asta, Yuno, and the others. Except he's carrying the kids on that of his back and also on his head too. Except one of them being Neil, who decided to walk on his own, feeling like he doesn't need to be that of a little kid anymore. With then soon us saying, "Oh man, I'm so excited! I finally get to get my own grimoire." Aren't you excited too, Yuno? With then Yuno saying, "Sure, whatever. I don't really care that much as long as I get a good one." As Yuno says this so nonchalantly, with then Sister Lee couldn't help but smile at the two, but is a little worried for Asta, given that most likely he may not get a grimoire, but she is hoping that he does. As for Wratha, as he soon continues walking towards that of the massive clock to the massive tower, he couldn't help but feel something unease around them, as feeling like something twisted is in the area. But as he wanted to growl and basically find out where it is and take it down, but realizing that the kids are basically on him, deciding not to, and not wanting to worry that of Asta and Yuno alongside the others too, and just leaves it be, at least for now. As then, finally arriving, they soon enter that of the tower, within soon the Grand Master inside of it saying, "Welcome all to the Hodge Village's grimoire ceremony. This ceremony begins once every year for those who want to increase their ability with their magic and want to grow even stronger. A grimoire is needed for such a task. Not only that, You do not choose your grimoire. A grimoire chooses you. So, please, prepare yourself and allow the grimoire to come to you. As he says this, soon, all of the grimoires begin to fly off the shelves, and that's of unique colors. Some red, some blue, some green, some yellow, some orange, and some brown. As they began flying everywhere, with many people on that floor began getting their grimoires as well. As everybody begins getting their grimoire, two people haven't gotten their grimoires just yet, as it being that of Asta and Yuno. With Yuno standing up, not even bothered, basically still having the blank ass face that he's always have. As for Asta, he's basically kneeling onto the ground, arms up, raised up into the air, with him having that of a blank face. But instead of Yuno's, stoic blank face, Asta's blank face is that of a derpy look to him, as he mutters to himself, where's my grimoire? It hasn't come yet. Then soon, a few of the nobles basically on the stands who actually gotten their grimoires couldn't help but say, look at those commoners. They haven't even got their grimoires yet. Within saying, yeah, definitely. Street urchins like them should know their place. Sure, maybe the other rabble must have gotten their grimoires, but at least they now know. But at least some of them have potential, unlike a few of them who haven't, like those two. Then, hearing this, a few of the kids from the orphanage couldn't help but get annoyed. Then, Lily couldn't help but feel worried before. Soon, a bright golden light begins to shine out of one of the grimoires, with it soon flying over to Yuno. Then soon, the golden light begins to change into that of a normal green. As soon as the light begins to fade, it soon shows on the cover being that of not a typical 3-leaf clover grimoire, but that of a 4-leaf clover grimoire, one of the most powerful grimoires in the Clover Kingdom. With everybody shocked and surprised seeing this, that it's in the hands of Yuno. With everybody couldn't help but be shocked at awe seeing this. Even Asta couldn't help but be having that of shock and awe. As Asta begins to think, hey, if Yuno got a 4-leaf clover grimoire, maybe I can too. I still have a chance. As waiting for at least a couple more seconds, at least that of 30 seconds, he realized that he hasn't gotten his grimoire yet, saying, what the hell? Why haven't I got my grimoire yet? Then Asta screams this out in that of pure and utter annoyance. With a few people couldn't help but laugh, especially the nobles went on that of full-on laughter, seeing Asta's reaction. With many of the people from the orphanage couldn't help but feel sorry for Asta. Even Neil, who was basically not even, thinking Asta wouldn't have gotten a grimoire, he still had hope for him too. But it seems that hope was basically misplaced as always, especially given that they're all orphans after all. But at least he's happy for Yuno, though, for getting at least a 4-leaf clover grimoire, as Yuno saying, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. The grimoire that will help me in my own goal. After all, I plan on becoming Wizard King. Then, hearing this, Asta couldn't help but be shocked and surprised that Yuno has the exact same dream as his. The dream of becoming Wizard King, just like him. Then soon, Asta couldn't help but actually clench his fist in that of annoyance, frustration, but also in determination, before going up to Yuno saying, hey, Yuno! Just because you have a super cool badass grimoire doesn't mean a damn thing to me. Just you watch. Just wait until next year. I'll get my grimoire, and I'll definitely go to become a magic knight and become the next Wizard King as well. So just you wait and just you watch. You got it? Then soon, seeing the determination and frustration on Asta's face before saying, sure, whatever. As he soon walks away with his new grimoire. Then soon, Asta couldn't help but look down to the ground. Within, a few people from the village couldn't help but feel bad for Asta as well, but they kind of knew that something like this was going to happen, given that, again, he has no magic, after all. Then soon, as Yuno begins to leave that of the tower, as he plans on training with his new grimoire to get started on it as soon as possible, a few nobles basically came out, realizing that Yuno doesn't deserve that of the four-leaf clover grimoire, and plans on taking it from him by using the grimoires that they do have. However, they didn't realize that Yuno was already quite capable and was already powerful enough with that of his own unique form of magic, being wind creation magic, deflects their spells and attacks before knocking them out without even breaking a sweat. Then soon, as Yuno is about to leave, he begins to hear somebody else coming at him saying, Well, I didn't think I would find a four-leaf clover in a backwater town like this. Lucky me, I have to say. As soon, looking at that of a mysterious and shady figure, with that of messy, long black hair, somewhat of a twisted look on him, and wearing that of dirty robes as well. With soon Yuno saying, You are? Saying, Not surprising somebody like you from a backwater town like this wouldn't know me, after all. I used to be a big shot magic knight back in the capital, but certain things happen, caused me to leave. But I'll let you know my name because it ain't gonna help much, after all. The name is Rebchi. I was once a member of the Purple Orca's Magic Knight squad. But now I'm just a wandering mage, that's all. But even so, I'll be taking that grimoire of yours. Within soon, Yuno saying, Go ahead and try. As Yuno prepares another wind spell, but then soon, Rebchi opens up his grimoire as that of a silver purple light begins to engulf it. As then he's saying, chain magic, chain binding spell. Within soon, as the chains begin to emerge from that of the grimoire and head straight at Yuno at blinding speeds that he's not fast enough to react to, as basically chaining him up right next to the wall of the tower, even chaining the grimoire as well. Within soon, Reggie saying, grimoires it's true that grimoires choose their wielders. However, there is a way to actually take grimoires from other people too. Just basically give it an influx of your own mana, basically rewriting the signature of its former wielder. And that will be you little brat. Just let you know, thanks for helping me get a little bit stronger after all. Now all those bastards that looked down on me back at the Clover Kingdom and kicked me out will know their place. Within soon, seeing that his four-leaf clover begins golden green glow begins to change as it begins to shift more into that of a silver-like purple. Within, feeling helpless, not being able to do anything, as he feels like his dream is already going to be slipping from his grasp. Before then, soon hearing that of a loud, obnoxious voice coming out in the distance as it got quieter before it gets louder and louder as this voice soon screams out, Then soon, without warning, Asta basically comes through, basically runs towards that of Rebchi, kicks him in the back before Rebchi basically tries to gasp in pain at being kicked in the back after all. Before then soon, Rebchi falls to the ground, and then Asta stands in front of Yuno. Within the process of rewriting that of Yuno's four-leaf clover grimoire has been halted. Within Asta saying, Glad I was able to show up in time. With then soon, Yuno saying, Asta, when did you? Yay, everybody wondering where you went. Even though you did leave early, you didn't come out with everybody else. So, I decided to look after you. Don't worry, Sister Elaine and the father, alongside the kids and Wratha, are already heading back to the orphanage. I'll get you out of here as soon as possible. Within soon, hearing this from Asta, Yuno couldn't help but remember back then when they were kids, when Yuno had to do an errand for the father that one night, however, was soon getting mugged by that of two people, and one of them tried to steal his pendant that he had since arriving to the church. However, Asta decided to tag along and follow after Yuno, and after that entire encounter, Asta got his butt kicked over and over again to the point that he got a swollen black eye. He basically bled from his nose from the left side of his nose, and he had a swollen cheek. However, doing so basically made it persistent to the point that the thief decided to throw back Yuno's pendant. With that, the two became inseparable, truly brothers after all. And now, once again, he sees that Asta, still with no magic, still with no power, with nothing, and even no grimoire, stands to protect him. Somebody with magic and a grimoire at that. Feeling frustrated with himself, but then soon, Rebchi basically gets back up. Before then, soon, he's saying, You magicless, stupid, damn freak! Within soon, chains begin to erupt all across his grimoire, heading straight for Asta. Within soon, Asta basically dodges each and one of the chains, before then soon rushing towards that of Rebchi, saying, I got you now! As he was about to get closer to Rebchi, soon, chains begin to emerge from that of the ground, without Asta realizing it, hitting him full force but below him, knocking him up into the air before soon a massive chain soon whips Asta back to that of the building, knocking him to the wall, creating that of a small crater. Within soon, Rebchi couldn't help but laugh, saying, that I didn't see that coming. Even for somebody with no damn magic, I can sense at all. You was still able to get the drop on me. I gotta give you credit for that, you damn freak. But let me enlighten you a little bit, because, after all, I did hear your little speech to that damn peasant brat over there. Within soon, slamming his foot down on Asta's shoulder, grunting in pain, and then saying, You will never become Wizard King. You, a magicless, worthless, peasant little freak such as you, will never be Wizard King. You'll be nothing. You're nothing but you're not even worth being even thinking about. You're pathetic, useless, trash even. Within hearing all of this, Asta's energy of fighting back, the will to keep on going, begins to slip away with each and every one of the words that Rebchi says, to the point that he basically stops struggling and feels somewhat lifeless. However, little did Asta know, or even that of Rebchi, hell, not even Yuno noticed, but the jewel on that of the stone-like accessory that he got from when he got the eggs of Volt, Score, and Wratha begins to shine brightly. As it almost looks like it's about to, open up actually. Within soon, back at the orphanage, both Wratha, Score, and Volt begin to hear something, almost like somebody's calling for them. Not only that, they begin to feel that Asta's will, Asta's conviction, the thing that draw them to their new partner, basically begins to fade. As Volt and Score were about to head to Asta, however, Wratha, on the other hand, makes that of a huge roar to the point that he runs back to that of the tower. But many of the kids of the orphanage begin to be confused and shocked. Even that of Lily, alongside the father, can help be shocked and surprised as well. However, as for Volt and Score, as they were about to run off too, they realized that roar was basically to tell them to stay out of this, as he will handle it. Within soon, Score couldn't help but feel annoyed at this, but decides to go back to sleep. As for Volt, he couldn't help but let out his own roar, as once again confusing everybody in the village, however, except Wratha, as this was a roar to make sure to bring back their partner, with Wratha determined to do so, running as fast as he can, feeling like he's going to trip each and every way, feeling more frustrated at the fact that he still hasn't emerged with his wings yet, but still continues to move forward, with then making it to the tower, as Yuno, hearing these words as well, was about to say something. However, before a fireball soon sends flying towards Rebchi, within soon Rebchi creates that of a shield made of chains to defend it, before then being pounced on by that of Wratha. Within, Rebchi's eyes couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, saying, "What the hell is that?" Before he could finish, Wratha was already pounced onto him and basically knocks him back all the way away from that of Asta, as the chains began to loosen. Within soon, Asta seeing Wratha, within saying, "Wratha? Is that you? But what are you?" Within soon, Wratha worried for Asta, before then seeing that of the, lack of determination, conviction, and the hyperactive, knucklehead that he's known to be, loudmouth that he is. Wratha couldn't help but be annoyed at the fact that Rebchi basically put his partner like this. Before then, however, he's more annoyed at Asta to be put in this state with just mere words alone. Before then, soon roaring deeply at Asta, in that of pure utter annoyance, mostly just to tell him to snap out of it. With then, soon, Asta couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, before then Yuno saying, "Don't you get it, Asta? Wratha is telling you to snap out of it, damn it!" With then, soon, Asta looking at Yuno saying, "Don't you get it? You may not have magic, you may not have power, but there's one thing that you do have, and that is your conviction and determination. And do you want to continue listening to the words of somebody who don't even matter? Or are you going to keep on fighting, keep on trying to achieve your dream? After all, you're the only person that I see as my rival to become Wizard King." With then, hearing those words, within Asta began to realize that what both Yuno and Wratha are trying to do, trying to motivate him, trying to realize that even if he has no magic, he does have power. He does have people who still care about him and still want to help him. Within saying, "You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to let the words of this bastard basically get in my head." Within standing back up, within Rebchi saying, "Oh, what? So you got a little pep talk. Doesn't matter. You're still," within saying, "I'm going to become Wizard King. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you won't stop me." With then soon, after saying this, two things begin to happen. First, something begins to fly out of one of the guard towers around that of the grimoire center of Hodge, and flies towards Asta. And not only that, as for the second thing, the stone that's on Asta's bracelet begins to glow a bright lightish blue, to the point that Wratha begins to resonate with it. Within soon, Wratha's the blackened wings of Wratha began to change into that of a go to the same color of his scales. Within soon, as he opens them up, the flaps begin to also open up as well, seeing that of a sun-like pattern in them. Within, emerging from that of a powerful roar. Within, rising high up into the sky, being Wratha's wings, with that of a powerful roar, even more powerful than the roars that he's had for the years. Within soon, both Asta and Yuno couldn't help but be shocked, seeing Wratha fully emerge from his wings. Within soon, Asta saying, "Wratha, you got your wings! You finally can fly!" With then soon, Wratha couldn't help but be happy at Asta saying this, before noticing the grimoire, feeling a little bit uneased around it, but then saying, when did this? With soon, for some reason, the grimoire seems to be calling for Asta. Within, Asta begins to reach for the grimoire. However, Wratha stands in front of Asta and the grimoire. Within, soon, Asta saying, "What is it, boy?" Within, saying, "You don't trust this thing? I get it. It makes sense. It did just show up right in front of me without any warning." Within, soon, placing his hand on Wratha's head, saying, "But even if it is bad, I got you right here by my side. After all, if I do, just as you and Yuno did before, you pulled me back once. What's to say you guys can't do it again?" Within hearing those words, Wratha couldn't help but have that of a toothy smile, hearing the words of his partner, or rather, his rider. Within, moving from the grimoire, as Asta soon reaches for it once again, as it soon opens up, is it being that of a somewhat blackened sword, the size of that of a great sword with that of a crossguard, as it being a double-edged sword at that. Within pulling from the blade, is it being that of basically slamming the sword down to the ground, blade first. Within soon, both Asta and Wratha began to feel that of a presence behind both of them. Wratha feeling like that of pure killing intent towards the figure, but as for Asta, he couldn't help but feel somewhat close to this figure, feeling like it's now a part of him, but a part of him that he will use for his dream and to protect Yuno and everyone else around him. Within soon, Reggie saying, "But that's impossible! How can a magicless freak have a grimoire now? Not only that damn monster! The hell is that thing? I've never seen a creature like that before, and I've seen my fair share of monsters during my time as a magic knight." Then soon, Asta basically pulling the sword from the ground saying, "Oh, he's more than just a monster. He's my friend, my partner, my monstie is what I call him. So, ready to do this, Wratha?" Within, having that of a huge roar, as the stone begins to shine once again, and without warning, Wratha basically goes behind Asta, lifts him up, as now he's basically sitting on his back, saying, "Whoa, I haven't done this in a long time." Then soon realizing, "So, ready to do this, Wratha?" Then Wratha roaring once again, as then Wratha rises his wings up, as it looks like he's about to take flight. Then soon, Yuno couldn't help but be shocked in seeing this as well. Then Reggie saying, "Like hell, I'll let you bastards get near me!" Then soon, sending more and more chains at Asta and Wratha. Then Wratha flies up into the air, dodging each and every one of the chains coming straight at Asta, to the point that the chains almost look like they're going slow. Before then, soon, Wratha dives down towards Rebchi at full speed, closing his wings into him at that. With soon, Asta seeing the perfect opportunity with one large scream from his lungs, he slams the sword into Rebchi's side, sending the disgraced Magic Knight flying so fast with the help of Wratha's momentum from flying and Asta's unnatural human strength after all, to the point that it almost seems that Rebchi just looks like that of a star in the distance, not sent flying up into the air, but sent so far into the village to the point that it looks like he's not even going to be seen ever again. With then soon landing back onto the ground with that of a huge crater beneath that of Wratha, before then unleashing a powerful roar alongside that of Asta as he basically rises his new sword, being the Demon Destroyer sword, up into the air. But then Yuno couldn't help but be impressed before remembering another thing that from back when they were kids. Within soon, it was during the time when both Wratha, Score, and Volt began getting bigger and bigger as the years go by. With then soon, Asta saying, Yuno, now that I see how big these guys have gotten, don't you think it'd be cool if we can ride on them? With then soon, saying, really? You want to ride on them? But don't you think that's pretty dangerous? Especially on them? Who knows if they can't even take our weight? With then soon, Volt, actually seeming eager for this, basically waves his big, muscular scaled tail up and over again so fast, like that of a dog. With then soon, us saying, see, Volt seems happy about it. With then soon, saying, yeah, because he's eager to please you, that's why. But what about Score and Wratha? I doubt they would be big enough to hold you. With then soon Score, not even wanting to pay attention to this, basically yawns with that of somewhat of a slithering snake roar. But then Wratha basically just, scoffs at this, but still kind of interested in seeing if it's possible. Saying, huh? Well, only one way to find out. Come on, guys. Let's see if we can ride on the three of you. With then Volt seeming eager, with Wratha not even caring, and Score just wanting to get it over with so he can go back to sleep. Little did anyone know, they actually can be rideable, especially seeing that since they grow bigger as time goes on, a lot faster than your typical animal after all, causing Yuno to be shocked and surprised, with then getting out of his memory, realizing, what do you know? Looks like you were right, Asta. Besides them just being rideable, it looks like you were right about them helping you in your own dream of becoming Wizard King. With then soon putting the sword back into the grimoire, with then Wratha couldn't help but nudge at Asta, saying, I couldn't have done it without you too, buddy. I know. I should give you the credit. Within soon, Wratha looks back at Yuno, but then Asta running up to Yuno saying, hey, Yuno, see? I now got my own grimoire now. So that means I'm a lot more closer to my dream of becoming Wizard King. Not only that, just like I said when I was a kid, I knew Wratha, Score, and Volt would help me achieve my dream. Within, couldn't help but smile after all these long years. From just a stoic look to him, basically a genuine smile, saying, yeah, I guess you're right. But, let you know, even with that of Wratha, Score, and Volt's help, it ain't going to save you. Within soon, I was saying, what? What do you mean? With even Wratha actually kind of confused, saying, after all, I still plan on becoming Wizard King. I'm not letting you and the three of them stop me. With then soon I sing, oh, just you watch. I will become Wizard King. But that shouldn't stop us. With then soon, saying, what do you mean? With then soon saying, we may be aiming for the same goal, but we're still brothers, right? But so, we gotta say, may the best man win. As he soon raises his fist up to Yuno. Within Yuno couldn't help but smile, saying, yeah, I guess so. Within the two, soon have that of a fist bump as the sun begins to set in the distance. As now, both foster brothers are now heading closer and closer to their dream to become Wizard King. First stop, to become Magic Knights. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, sorry if this seems like it's tedious dialogue. I wanted to basically get it out of the way to bring up certain aspects of this what if, by also bringing up certain, emotions that the Monstie would have, but also giving Monsties that of personality as well. To be honest, in Monster Hunter stories, none of the Monstie have that much of a personality. Hell, even in Pokemon, when you look at their stats, they actually have a bit of a personality. If anything, Monsties act more like their, animal counterparts, and act more like that of pets than, companions, to be honest. Even though the series likes to show that they're more than just companions and pets. Even though they don't feel like they show it. But again, that's probably just me. If you guys have different ways on how you see your Monsties and Monster Hunter stories, tell me in the comments below. But now, the story is going to change quite a bit with that of these three Monsties are here. I may add more to Asta's group as well, but probably just 3 more. But who knows? It's going to be gradually, not constantly like one after the other, to be honest. So yeah, you gotta be patient for that, guys. At any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my Patreon, alongside my Cash App, all linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, you know what to do.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!